Now I'm going to be discussing with you what I thought would be one of the best strategies for house flipping, therefore making house flipping more profitable. I wanted to partner with my general contractor. We had done a few flips and he had done my personal house together. We built an incredible trust bond, and today I'm here to tell you that could have been or is one of my biggest regrets. Now, I don't want to just sit here and hammer on the contractors or do that, but I actually need your help if you guys could. I'm going to show you an email that I'm going to write to him because I accidentally overpaid him a little bit. And you might be like, you are an idiot. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, yeah, sometimes I am. But I think once you see what happened, you may not realize that, or you may realize that I'm not such an idiot. These things can happen. So I am about to send this off to my contractor. So what happened is basically the third house. So last week we talked about deals 1 and 2. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Jackson Wilkie. I started this channel exactly almost 1 year ago, documenting my house flipping business from the ground up. So when I started, there was nothing but guru channels out there, and I couldn't really get across the start line, to get going. So I figured, you know what? I spent enough money on courses, books, podcasts, and sub 2 courses, and I was, in the red considerably. So I needed to just get going, and hey, why not document it and help everybody? So that's what I do with this channel. If you like that kind of content, hit that like button. I document everything that I do, including the massive mistakes. So here is the email, and if you are a seasoned flipper or just somebody who's good with words, let me know if this is right. I'll upload this video and I'm going to wait to send this to him until I hear from you guys. If you guys want to, you can email me, but here's what I'm going to write to him. Now, I don't know if I'll start it with all right, but I had to go through the entire loan to turn it into a rental, and I never looked deeply at all the costs associated with the flip. I want to run all of this by you and see if we can come up with an agreement. I understand there are some other associated costs like the roof. So we had Hurricane Beryl come through and some branches came down and poked holes in the roof, and a bunch of, the wind ripped a bunch of shingles off and it leaked, and we had to replace the whole roof. Some of you have been following me for a while. You knew that, but if not, that's what happened. We also had to build a new laundry room off the back of the house because we tore the garage down, and because of all of the permit issues, which I'm about to show you some permit stuff. It's actually on the, it's actually right here. Freaking failed again. Oh my gosh, this thing is bleeding me dry, but we'll go into that here in just a little bit. But I got to build a laundry room, and then once we got red tagged by the city, yes, this has been one of those that everything that could happen happened. And once we got hit with the red tags, we had to basically completely redo 100% of the electrical, plumbing. There was nothing we couldn't just keep, right? So it was a real bear cat, but we're going to get to, I think, what happened, with the permitting. Now I'm going to get back to that, but this is probably something you want to see. Check this out. We actually have gethardmoney.com. So right now it's currently a jot form. We are going to actually build out kind of a marketplace. Now you might be thinking, oh, here you go. Now you're charging us, you're pulling out the rug. It's not, it's just a free resource. I have told you time and time and time again. And when I've interviewed, Kirk on this channel or other new flippers, guess what they all said? I was just like you, Jackson. I went a year, 2 years, 3 years without flipping, but having that first consultation with the hard money lender, learning how easy it was, learning how much I could get loaned on, and then them going through the deals with you. They're loaning the money. They're not going to loan on bad deals, right? So that's the big stepping stone that you guys are probably all needing. So when you go to gethardmoney.com, isn't that amazing? It's so cool. Right now it's going to be a jot form. Fill that out with all your information. And then that comes to to me and Hard Money Joe. And Hard Money Joe has been in the hard money lending world now for years and years, and he's built up these relationships with them in every market. So we're just going to give you the top 2 or 3 hard money lenders in your market. Doesn't cost you anything, it's free, and get those appointments scheduled so that you can actually start having those conversations. And actually I've probably had about 30 emails in the past week or two of people going, hey, I'm looking at properties today, can you connect me with a hard money lender? I mean, you can look at properties all day until you're blue in the face, but until you have an actual devised plan, you really can't do anything. So I'm telling you right now, first step, gethardmoney.com. Guys, go check it out. Look at that bad boy. Hey, it ain't as cool yet. Any of you guys out there, web developers, by the way, will you shoot me an email, invest@realagentnow.com, if you can help us just make a site, whatever. So go check that out. Now, let's get back to the video. Permits, but a substantial amount of your budget was actually not done due to not doing the garage. So this is where I kind of overpaid. And although I feel like a complete idiot and maybe I'm the only human who ever did this, I've actually talked to a few other flippers. In fact, I was just having lunch with Hard Money Joe the other day about this, about overpaying. He goes, dude, I've done it before too. He goes, I sit around in meetings and talk to people, and you know, you get the guy that comes up and goes, I never lose any money on a deal. And he's like, yeah, whatever, not yet anyways. All I'm trying to say is that you're gonna get into house flipping, or maybe you already are, and things are gonna happen. Like it's just inevitable. And as I'm sitting like right in the middle of this, guys, and I want to just give you my raw like feelings and opinions, because you're gonna go through this and you'll be able to reflect. Because I remember hearing it right out of the gate from Hard Money Joe. He's like, dude, I mean, he's what, 12, 14 years into this. He wholesaled for 5 years. He flipped for 5 years. He's now doing the hard money for a couple of years. So he's done hundreds of these things. And he's like, you know, I've talked to everybody. Basically, 70% of flips, you'll make money. 20% you're going to break even. 10% you'll lose money. I've heard other guys say 80% I make money. 20% I lose money. But give or take, you're at 70, 80%. But when it's your flip, yourself, you feel like, no, I'm not going to make those mistakes, or those things aren't going to happen to me. This could be one of my 10, right? And I still think, you know, I'm at break even, maybe possibly make a little money. And that's what I have to remind myself, that I haven't lost any money yet. There's still a chance, right? But I've gotten my ass kicked over and over. So I just want you guys, again, I want to come across as raw and as real, somebody who you can relate to, so that when you go down this path, and I think it's amazing. I think house flipping's awesome. I can't wait to get rid of these and get back to my plan. And that's something that I probably need to discuss. Jackson, how the hell did you get so derailed? And I actually had to think about that. When did I start doing these? Anyways, we'll get to it. So the total budget from you was $74,115. And as I say that, I just want to bring that up. As you can see here, this was the budget that he gave me, $74,115. Now, again, hindsight is 20/20. So if I knew what I knew now, I bought this house for $42,000. I think it was $42,000. Here's the HUD statement. Purchase price was $32,000, but as you can see here on the assignment of contract, a $12,000 assignment fee, and then a deposit. That's just like your earnest money. So basically, I paid the wholesaler $12,000 for this $44,000 deal. Now, just doing simple math, right away, my cost for the house was $44,000. Looking at it now, it definitely had some foundation issues. It was leaning a little bit, but I probably could have wholesaled that thing, you know, in that $70,000 range, I would imagine, 60 to 70. So I probably could have just made 15, 20, maybe even more. Now that's a maybe, right? That's a maybe, but looking at the hundreds of houses that I've looked at now, it's definitely a possibility. I also could have just turned it into a rental right there that would have cash flowed. I was new into the game, for one. Two, let's rewind the tape a little bit, because it's easy for you guys to look at this, and even myself, and go, you had a $44,000 house. Sorry, that's actually Hard Money Joe right there. Our flip, I'll just show you, because you guys, I don't know if you ever believe, you know, I'm raw and honest. He said, do you still have Charles's number? Who cuts the grass? Somehow I lost it. Apparently we're overgrown. So there's another issue. You kind of forget that you got to mow the grass all the freaking time. So I'll get back to you, Hard Money Joe. So we were flipping these houses, and so what happened was my contractor, he did a flip personally down in like the southeast side of Houston, and he's from that area, and he works in Baytown, and he works in Channel, so all these areas, and he's like, my crew's down there, we're down there, I know every street, I know every road. He goes, man, if we could just do one or two of these down here, they're way cheaper, we can knock them out like this, and you know, we can make 15, 20, 30 grand per deal or whatever, but I can knock these things out in no time, right? That was kind of the mindset that hit me, like, shoot, okay, I don't have to manage it much. He's going to manage it. We can get these things done quick, because I already did one Baytown one with him, and within a couple weeks, I mean, it was like done. Now, We didn't make a lot of money on it because I talked about that in the last video. And now we're running, you know, kind of into this real estate market. But that was the thought process. So when I got the house for 44, we were gonna, that garage was there, and we were going to convert that into a mother-in-law, turn it into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And we were starting to see comps, you know, upwards of that 160 range. So really we, you know, even at getting at 44 and having the budget at 74,000, you know, that's at what, 78, that's at 118,000. But we were looking in the 160s. In fact, if you guys have been following me, I talked to that realtor, Giovanni, who born and raised in Baytown and been a realtor there for 10 years. And he's like, oh, I can sell this tomorrow for in the 160s right now. And I'm like, are you sure it's a 2-bed, 1-bath? He goes, oh man, I thought it was a 3-2. He goes, yeah, that's going to be more difficult. So if it was a 3-bed, 2-bath, he's like 160s, I could sell it right now. So we would be making a good chunk of money, you know, 30, 40 grand. Plus, don't forget, again, when we got into that property and started work, we were maybe 2 weeks into that project and we already had the custom cabinets done. All the everything was done. We were putting it back. My contractor's like, yeah, by, you know, a week and a half, we're going to be doing all the finish work. So it would have taken us 3 weeks to do this thing, and we would have been selling in the middle, like the end of spring, early summer, the hottest part to sell, like the best time to sell, right? So again, you got to kind of factor all these things, and I guess it's just to kind of show you guys, you know, how these decisions come about, you know, and I think, you know, it's easy to kind of look back and armchair quarterback this thing, but that's the story behind it. Now, if we get back to what I'm gonna tell them, right? So the total budget, which I just proved to you, that's what it was. The contract price, 44. Here's the items that are not done. Foundation repair of the house. He had that in his budget. And I mean, I can show you guys this, but I just did, right? So foundation repair, $47.50. So just to know, there it is, $47.50. So I'm not making any of this up for you guys. I want you guys to really know what this is. Well, we ended up getting foundation repair work done in that back bonus room of this house. We did not need to get the garage done, but I paid for that, right? So I have the receipt right here. I have right here, here's the $1,250. I paid that. Here's the actual work that was done, $1,250, lifetime warranty. And this, my friends, is gonna come up because you wanna know who's at my this property right now? Sorry, this is a different one, but my other property, the Shore Acres one, is hopefully a potential buyer who's there for the second time running an inspection. So I have the same stuff to talk about, but this was the house that we did $1,250 worth, so I paid that out of pocket. Anyways, I'll speed this up a little bit more, but sewer for the garage, new garage foundation, garage electrical, and reframe garage. So all of these costs was $19,150 that we did not do because we tore the garage down, we got red tagged, and in order to build up a new garage, it was going to be an absolute headache. I'm talking engineered drawings, shear walls, I mean, hurricane strap. It was a Bearcat. Plus the costs associated with it and the time, I was like, scrap it, whatever. Well, it ended up taking us, we're still 10 months in, and as you can see from that email I showed you here a little bit, or showed you a bit ago, and I might show you in a minute, is we just failed another inspection. My goodness. Anyways, I got some crazy shit for you because literally I'm texting everybody. My contractor, CenterPoint Energy, is the gas company. He went there today to go frickin' turn on my gas so I can get my final, which is why that failed. And guess what? The inspector took the mother frickin' key. Yes, the inspector for Baytown accidentally took the key. CenterPoint already went there to do the gas before. Well, there was a minor leak. My contractor had to go fix that. I had to pay $50 for him to come back out. They come back out. The city was there doing the inspections this morning. They took the key. I am telling you, this shit will make you old quick. But I love it, and I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to teach all y'all how you can make money by avoiding these mistakes. So we're 19.5 or 150 total, okay? Items done. I tallied everything that was done, right? That came down to 54,965. The first draw that I took, right? So when you have hard money, you take a draw. I paid 35,080. The second draw, the remainder was 39,000. I paid on the first one 35, second one 35. So I paid him $70,000, and that means that there's $15,000 left over. So I overpaid $15,000. You might be like, how did you do that? Well, this is where, again, I need your guys' help with this, but you guys can just comment down below. But we are 50-50 partners, but this is impossible to track on my end. And what I'm learning is that you get paid 100%, and I'm out all my invested money until or if we can sell it. Going forward, the only way to do it is you give me your budget with what you want to make, and if it works, then we go with it. When you said, can we just call it even? I didn't even look at the actual math and budget, roof, laundry, extra electrical, all of that stuff, right? So what happened was he was getting done with almost all the work, right? And I had, $74,000, but I only paid him 70. I held back like, it was almost $5,000 until it's all done, right? And then I started to like do some of the math, because what he told me was like, hey, I have all these additional costs, and why don't we just call it even? Well, this is the other issue. I have 3 flips going at once. So I've got contract, this contractor needing this much money. I got that contractor that, and that's where it gets difficult, is managing 3 at once. Doing one's a little bit easier, but you kind of start getting into this like, okay, I owe you that much, whatever. I did a full draw. This is the amount of work that's done. So if they paid me that $35,000, that means the work was done. Well, that's kind of what I had in my mindset. But what I did is I took some of that extra money for the work that wasn't done, because in a hard money loan, if they lend you $75,000 for the budget, but you only need $60,000, you can take out that $15,000 if you would like to use it for other things, upgrades or whatever, or to just have in your account, maybe to make payments, whatever you want to do. And that's kind of what I did, is I pulled that, right? And then it was just quick as, hey, well, we had the roof, we had all the electrical, we had everything else. Can we just call it even, is what he said. And I was like, all right, let me look, it is what it is. I'll pay it, and I'll look at it. And that was obviously just a terrible mistake. I mean, it's pretty stupid of me to think about that now. And I know you guys are going to just destroy me, whatever, but it's just what happened, okay? So I'm $15,000 over, but remember, I had to get an entire new roof, and there was actually quite a bit of plywood, because tree branches and trees came down and just penetrated, just busted through a bunch of the plywood. And then we didn't actually check on it for like a week after, so a bunch of water had gotten down, things had gotten rotten, so we had to replace some of the plywood, and then 100% of the roof. So roofs ain't cheap, even a small house like that. And I want to say he said it was somewhere around $5-6 grand, which I think is a really fair price, Secondly, like I mentioned, we had when we got red tagged, we had to replace all the electrical, just wire in general. I don't know if you've gone to the store and bought any lately. That shit is expensive, right? So we had to completely rewire the entire house, and we had to completely replumb the house too. So a lot of the old electrical and stuff that was in there, the city was like, got to change it, right? Got to do everything brand new up to code. Now, you might be thinking, well, yeah, you got to do it all nice anyways. There's ways to do it, right? And you can run all, new runs and not have to get rid of the old wire and all of that. Not all of it was like aluminum. Some of it was still good wire. Anyways, there was associated costs with that. So this is where, I'm at, right? Does all of this add up to 15,000? And this is what I say, because I'm just going to be like, all right, man to man, we're tight, we're buddies. Like, we went into this together. That's obviously starting to pull apart a little bit, as things get tough. And again, I would just get your contractor's budget, you do the flip, and that might come easy to you guys, right? This is where it's going to get crazy, guys. Like, you got to see that. But you might be thinking, well, why would you ever even do that, right? It's natural. And that's what I'm learning, because I was beating myself up about it. And I've actually talked to probably a dozen flippers out there who have done this. Some of them still do it on a few projects, but they all say the same thing. Yeah, man, I mean, kind of once they get paid, especially once they get close, they get their big chunk of money, they're just going to take a bunch of other jobs to make money. And so that last 5% of the job is tough. I talked to Hard Money Joe about this just yesterday, and he's like, dude, I partnered with contractors quite a bit, and sometimes I had amazing luck, like they would just really work because they knew they were getting the profit, whatever. But inevitably, sometimes it just doesn't work out, and it's probably best. So going forward for you new flippers, again, it's find a couple contractors, get a good budget. Whatever their budget is, that's what you go with, right? And if you want to go, I interviewed Kirk in a couple of videos. His style is he pays for material, right? I don't do that. I have the contractor, it's all in the budget, you know, and if his budget is a certain amount and I run my numbers to that amount, hey, I'm good with it. You do it, right? Kirk pays for it. So that's something that you have to think about. And many of you are like, well, I'd rather do that too. Okay, well, you have to pay for the tile, the grout, the the flooring, the wood flooring, all the plywood, all the studs, all the drywall. Like, you have to pay for that material. It's a lot of money out of pocket, and you don't want to be taking a ton of draws. And guess what? The work has to be completed for you to get the money back. Does that make sense? So let's say you're starting a job and you're like, well, I'm going to pay for all the materials. They start doing all this. They need flooring. They need self-leveler. They need tile. They need grout. They need a bunch of 2x4s. They need drywall, all this stuff, right? Well, you might be like, okay, I'm going to pull a draw out and go get that. You can't. All of that work needs to be done. And then the hard money company comes out and looks and sees if the work is 100% completed, and then they pay you on that. So just make sure you know that going ahead of time. So that's where it's kind of nice when the contractor pays for it, because they're going to cover all of those costs. And when it is done, you can pull out a draw, pay that contractor back. That's the way that I did it. And I still think that's the way I'm going to do it going forward, but I'm not going to become 50-50 partners with the builder. Again, guys, if you're liking this just raw, honest content, I'm not hiding anything. I don't sugarcoat anything. Just hit that like button. That's what helps me. And then you guys just comment down below what you think I should do before I send this. So I said, I don't want to ruin anything without, a shared bank account like I tried to do. There's just no way to track this. Now on my end, I'm a bit frustrated, and I really hope you would agree. This project has taken 10 months now. I understand the city is difficult, but it should have never taken this long. And you know what I did have here? If this was your project personally, right? There's no way in my mind that I would believe that this would take 10 months. It probably would have been done in 2 months. So the other thing that happened is I think my contractor he hasn't dealt with permitting a lot, and there was a lot of stories of he said, she said, the city did this, I did this. I did another flip, the one that I'm doing with Hard Money Joe right now. That contractor was on the city every day, like boom, 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 massive flip, 4 weeks done. We had gas, electrical, we had all sorts of stuff, and it was just taken care of, right? So that's another thing too, when you're looking for contractors, ask them, hey, how much knowledge do you have of getting permits, working with the city? Now, are you gonna pull permits on every remodel? That's up to you, homie. I'll be honest. I know a lot of flippers. That's why you don't deal with the freaking city. Now, could we have gotten this done if this was in my backyard and I could drive to it every 10, 15 minutes to the city, to the build? No problem. It's an hour and a half drive each way. And the problem with the city, especially down there, they're like, we schedule them for a day, they may not show up. Or they'll show up at 6 in the morning and you miss them. Guess what? You're screwed for the whole week. It's very inconvenient. And to be brutally honest, give me the truth serum, I truly feel like they're just fucking with me. That's the way, that's the vibe that you get from them, is that they're just trying to mess with you, right? And so having a contractor that's maybe not as confident, and then dealing with a very difficult city, you make your own judgment call whether you want to do permits or not. I might get beat up for that one too, don't care. So 10 months, what I pay for interest only, right? $1,132.50 a month, for a total of $11,321.50 that I am out of pocket and I never get back, because that's interest only, right? That's a killer. That's a lot of profit right there. Plus $12,223 closing costs. Okay, that's money that I do get back if I do sell for a profit, or if I even break even. But as of right now, I'm gonna probably turn this into a rental. And the money that I have into it, even if I do a DSCR loan, I did a whole video on this with Hard Money Joe. He breaks down every cost associated with that. With the money I have into it, I can't pull money out. So that's just kind of sitting there. So I'm out that, plus utilities for 10 months and deposits. $1,250 for foundation repairs. All permits so far has been $562. Once these permits close, I think I got to pay another $500. My rough total is around $26,350. Money gone. 10 months really hurts, right? So that's what I'm out. And he got paid his, plus obviously some overages. Now, he paid out of pocket for the roof, he paid out of pocket for the electrical, he paid out of pocket for the plumbing, all of those expenses. And I would honestly probably think, yeah, it's probably 10 grand, right? Give or take. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So I really want this to be fair, and I'm such a nice guy, it's hard for me to even write this, but I think it's what's fair after all of this. With all that said, if you can really total up the extras and be honest with it, I'm good with what you come up with, but really hoping that it really wasn't $15,035. My plan is to put it for rent and for sale. If somehow we can sell it for a profit, I'll still split that with you, but it's not looking good, and I'm going to have to eat that and recoup none of my money back. And then I'll go into Shore Acres, our other flip that we got together. So I kind of have a feeling what he's gonna say, all right, oh man, it's, you know, everything was so, this was a cost, that was a cost. I'm probably just gonna have to kind of eat this one. And I don't think a contractor's kind of guy goes, yep, you're right, man. I didn't spend that. Here's $5,000 back, right? Personally, I just don't think it's going to happen. My guy's a good dude. Maybe it does. You guys comment down below, like, what should I do or what can I do for this? And even if he doesn't pay me anything back, there is a chance that I can still sell this thing and break even. That would be honestly like, I got 2 of them going right now that just, I got a master's degree, homies. Like, and that's what I have to think about. Sorry that I'm all over the place, but this is how my mind works. And I think that's why I like doing this channel, is because I kind of get to vent and just like explain the middle of it, you know. And when you hear flipping from somebody who's done it a long time, it's typically just like the end of the story. You don't get like this middle part. And right now, I actually didn't even want to tell you guys this. I would feel like I won the lottery if I could sell the house that had all the termites, the Shore Acres, and this Baytown house, and break even and just get all the money I put in back out. I literally would feel like I hit the lottery. And it's a good chunk. I think it would be well over 60-something thousand dollars back, you know. So that's a tough pill to swallow. You're always into these deals a certain amount, you know, all the how to flip houses for free stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you can use other people's money, whatever, but it takes some capital, you know. And I've made some mistakes, obviously, lots of them. But as I explained, you can't plan for, you know, the stuff that can happen in the future. Like you go in with numbers, you go in with a plan, and sometimes things happen, right? Sometimes 85 to 90% of your studs in your house have complete terrible termite damage, and you just didn't know it, right? I talked to a few people about termites actually that reached out to me like, oh dude, I had a project, we had to basically scrape it to the studs. You know, we knew it was bad, but not that bad, right? So like these things happen, right? I was talking to Hard Money Joe. He said he had a flipper get into a house. The numbers were amazing. They got the flip done, and somebody like the buyer's agent who was looking at the house pulled up some kind of report. Joe would have to comment, but basically they found out it was on a fault line. So literally half the house, right in the middle of it, it's on a fault line. Nobody will loan on it, and the guy had to end up moving into the flip with his family, and he's just living in it, right? Nothing's ever happened since. It's still a nice house. He did a great job, but shit happens. Fault lines, you know, hurricanes. So what I really suggest for you guys too, first and foremost, the most important thing that I could possibly give you advice on, and I think I've touched on this many times, and before I tell you that, do me a favor, if you haven't yet, hit that like button. Comment down below what I need to be doing to try and get some of that money back. I really appreciate that. And subscribe. I'm growing this thing. I'm going to continue documenting. My goal is getting that cash out eventually. And then me and Joe got the other flip we can make some money on, and doing more high-end flips, and also interviewing future flippers. And I do still want to develop a house. Like I want to build something new, sell it. Anyways, I'm going to document it all. You know me. It's that hard money lender relationship, right? Guys, I did a video on this channel talking about like the just panic attack that I had, you know, like it was crazy. And to say I haven't had other mini ones would be a lie. But not only is he somebody who's been, you know, who's in my back pocket helping me, you know, with the financial aspect of it, and getting the loans, but also he's somebody who's been through this. You know, by the time they're a hard money lender, they've probably done the flipping, they've done the wholesaling, all that. So he's somebody that I can talk to and you can reset yourself. So you're going to be flipping houses, and you're going to get to this point where you just think everything's going to crash and burn and be done. And you can kind of reset yourself and go, you know what, Jackson, I'm 12 months into this. If you told me 12 months ago before I flipped anything, you're going to do 5 flips. One of them you're going to kick ass right out of the gate. You got one that you're going to probably break even, maybe lose a little bit. One you may turn into a rental. You might be able to make money, might break even. Another one, me and Joe are doing, it's definitely going to be profitable. You're going to make money on that one. You may not even really lose money on this. I made 50K on the first one. Might be able to make 10, 15, 20K on this last one with Joe. Break even on a couple of them. Hey, you know, at the end of the day, I know more about flipping now and I have more confidence, and I'm going to really kick it into gear 2025, right? I'm going to do some nice shit, right? So if you told me that 12 months ago, hey, you're going to get your butt kicked a little bit, but you're going to do 5 flips. First of all, I'd be like, 5? How the hell am I going to do 5 flips? I don't even know how to get one flip going, right? And now I know how to do it. So I do want you guys to have the courage to step into your first one, but you better not do it until you get like that hard money lender relationship, right? Because the money is everything, and they know how to run deals. They're also, and that's actually, I've had, shoot, I wish I could tally that, probably 125, 150 of you guys out there reach out to me and email me, hey, connect me with a hard money lender. Hey, just a reminder, we launched gethardmoney.com. It's actually right now, it's just a jot form basically. We're gonna actually create a site to where you can go in and find your own hard money lender. Again, it's the most important part of house flipping. They're gonna help you figure out how much money you need down, but most importantly, they help to run the comps, make sure it's a good deal. Come in here to gethardmoney.com and just fill out the form. And then what happens is we're going to get with the top 3 or so best hard money lenders that are in your exact market so that they can reach out. You can have those one-on-one consultations and then get you going on your house flipping journey. So gethardmoney.com. I never thought we would do something this cool. And again, it's a free resource. We're just going to connect you with trusted hard money lenders that are just like Hard Money Joe, baby. Get that, establish a relationship with 1, 2, 3 contractors. I thought I needed one and I was good. It's just not the way it goes, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and blame him, and he's actually a good dude. We still talk. I think I'm still gonna have him give me bids. Like, I know he does great work, right? And I know how to manage this, but I'm also gonna do it right in my backyard. Don't start flipping outside the walls and all that. Just stay local, find a good contractor, meet a good or a few good hard money lenders. You're gonna be flipping in no time. Follow this channel so that you don't make mistakes. Now, let me go through a few other things here with you guys before I drop you off. So this is still flip 3. This is what happened in the inspection today. So I actually had, if you can see here, all other inspections come back and pass. Final inspection, final mechanical, but final plumbing. Now your final plumbing inspection has to do with gas too. But I guess I have to do a hose bib vacuum breaker, but all that's been done. Basically, got to have utility gas turned on. Well, they went to turn on the gas today and that guy took the frickin' key. So I called my contractor and told him about it, and he is like, dude, the key was there. That's how the frickin' city got in there. I'm like, I know, but they must have taken it. He goes, all right, I got a guy going there. So he has a guy running there to open the doors for Centerpoint so they can go and actually get us gas today. So hopefully, and I already rescheduled. I went back under the portal in Baytown and scheduled for that inspection tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow I'm all done. Here's something else that happened. Hey contractor, I'm gonna get listing pictures done because I need to rent. I need to put this thing for rent or for sale. Both. I'm gonna do both, right? Everything done, everything clean. Oh yeah, great. All right, let's see. Here's how the pictures came back. Let's see if you guys like them. Beautiful, right? Actually turned out pretty sick. God, that garage, had to tear that down. But now like in the area, it's actually pretty nice because the driveway is like 100 feet long. So yeah, so anyways, I'm like going through the pictures, right? I'm like, are you kidding me? There's no mother trucking cabinet doors. What in the shit? So they're missing, and I'm like, dude, you said everything was done. What's this? I sent them the pictures. Oh man, I opened them and I just didn't like them. They didn't look good, so I made my guys sand them and redo them. I'm like, well, I asked you if all the cabinets were done. I got cabinets all over the place. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts. With no freaking cabinet doors. I'm like, good night. So I actually have the company, in case this ever happens. Hold on. The company that took the pictures, I said, hey, is there, and I don't even know why they didn't tell me this or like why they didn't do it anyways, but they can come in here and use like AI or some tool and they can put cabinet doors on there. So I'm having them do that. But other than that, like this little house turned out sick and how open it is and big. You know, and me and Joe, if you remember, I might turn this into a rental and he's going to do a DSCR loan. But I was like, hold on a minute, I might try and sell it. He was running the comps of the other properties around there, you know, that were 2-bed, 1-bath houses. And, you know, a couple of them had sold in that 150 range. I basically need to get like 140 for it, I think, to break even, which would be awesome. So I might list it, you know, in that 150, 160 range. Now, I'm not going to get it, right? But maybe it does, or maybe I can get some offers in the 140s. But I'm also going to list it for rent at the same time. If I got to just slap a renter into it, you know, for now, get through the winter, and then, you know, in a year or maybe next summer, you know, list it for sale or something. So that's kind of the plan right now with this one, with flip number 3. And that's why, you know, I really wanted to take some time on this deal because, you know, it's really ran me through the gauntlet, I guess you could say, of, you know, just, oh man, it's been tough. So last but not least, the only positive out of this is that you can run what's a cost segregation study. I'm not going to go into mega detail, but what you can do is basically take 27.5 years is the depreciation of this. So I'm not going to act like I'm a genius. My CPA told me about cost segregation studies, and I ran one on another property that I have, a beach house that we short-term rent, and I ran a cost segregation study. It was about a $500,000 house. And when you run a cost segregation study, I know you guys do your own research, but you can do all of that 27.5 year of depreciation all rolled up into 1 year. So I was able to get $144,000, you know, of reduced income that year. It's pretty lucrative. That's how the rich get really, 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 really rich. You remember when Trump, they said like 4 years ago or 6 years ago, we were like, yeah, you had paid like $800 in taxes. He's like, yep, that's right, because I used all of your loopholes. So they have these cost segregation studies. That's why everybody buys a bunch of property, runs these cost segs, and then it makes it look like they make no money. Yeah, that's how the rich get rich anyways. It's going to help me with my taxes. So I do have that cost segregation study. And now if you sell the property within a year, a lot of that goes away, but you can actually, again, you work with your CPA about it. But if you're going to hold a property for a long-term time, you can run these studies, save some money. So that's the only bonus to me too, is that actually is going to help me reduce my income this year, which saves me a lot of money in taxes. So that is kind of like basically money in my account, if that makes sense. Whew, I hope you guys like these videos still. I still have deals 4 and 5 to break down, but I wanted to just get deal 3. The other two, I mean, you know, we broke them down with Hard Money Joe, the numbers and all that stuff. But the good news is, will you guys please, if you're prayers, will you pray for your homie? I've got finally a buyer for that 4th flip, the termite one. Now, they love the house, but they wanted to get some foundation experts out there to check it. I've had a few people talk about the foundation. Most everybody else didn't, and it's all because of that back room. So I submitted everything to my agent. I'm like, look, hey, here's freaking all the work that I did. Here's the guarantee. Here's the leveling. Here, like, I have it all. It's done. But they scheduled that today, so earlier today. So I should be hearing today what they say. Hopefully we get some kind of offer. I am praying to God. Oh, if I can sell that one, honestly, I'm flying high. Like, I am just like, okay, everything else is good to go. We can wait these things out. I just really want to get that one done. That's where I have the majority of, I think I have, you know, over 40-something thousand in that one locked up, and I would love to get that back. So I will, and I might take a hit on it. But again, I know I'm crazy. I have $40,000 in there. Even if I get 35 of that back, I'm going to feel like I won the lottery. If I lost $5,000, getting 35 back. Anyways, I hope I make a little bit of money, but you never know. You guys are going to have to subscribe and follow. Let me know what I need to be saying to my contractor. I doubt I'm going to get any of that money back, or how I should address that situation. In the meantime, for all you new flippers out there, basically start at video 1, watch it all the way through. It's because it's a documentary. It's never going to go away. House flipping will always be the same. So if you watch from video 1 all the way to the end, you're going to have an understanding. Or this right here, it's basically a free course. Don't go out and pay for house flipping courses. This is about 6 or 7 videos that runs you through everything you need to know, from starting an LLC that I didn't know you needed, getting hard money loan calculators, everything that has to do with flipping is in this free course right here. So it's basically just a playlist. Check that out, homies.